Welcome back to Movies at 2 a.m., the show where we discuss B movies, bad movies, low-budget movies, box office bombs, critical disappointments, and all manner of obscure film. I'm Bryce Huffman.
I'm Irving Thomas.
And today, we got a fun one. Oh, man, if that growl wasn't reminiscent of DMX enough for you, we are discussing the 2003 action comedy thriller.
I was gonna ask you
all of the above.
I was gonna ask you based off of the prompt what you would classify this film.
Action comedy, yeah, like an action kung fu comedy. Cradle
the
to
kung fu.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there because the number of times people say kung fu or karate about Jet Li is so funny in this movie. But the 2003 film Cradle to the number 2, The Grave.
That's hilarious. I have that in my notes as well. Oh,
Before we get into this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, spoiler warning, even though this movie is 20 years old.
Great soundtrack.
That was who my flowers are going to.
One day I want to, bro, Gabrielle Union, and this is a boink moment. Whatever. Gabrielle Union, like, seducing someone to some Jay-Z over a Neptune's beat, like, that is our childhood. What are we talking about here, bro?
Yo, I literally wrote that scene down. I'm like, the unnecessary strip tease with a Neptune's beat is so iconic, early 2000s.
I was like, I gotta borrow this one. Valentine's Day, sweetest day. What are we doing?
Yeah. So, Cradle to the Grave. Here's the IMDb synopsis. A jewel thief's daughter is kidnapped after he steals a collection of prized black diamonds, which aren't at all what they seem. Very lackluster for this movie, right?
It's pretty lackluster.
What, you want to go first, or should I go first?
Hey, man.
I'll go first because I have a seeming suspicion you're going to win again. DMX and Jet Li had success with Romeo and... I'm going to restart that.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. You got this. Take your time, baby.
I looked down for a quick sec, and you'll know exactly what I looked at that made me mess up. DMX and Jet Li had success with Romeo Must Die, so they said, hey, let's do it again, but this time we're going to be chasing after a set of rare diamonds that aren't diamonds at all, but are actually weapons-grade plutonium, and we have to stop some foreign terrorists from selling them. Oh, and the hot black chick from every late 90s, early 2000s movie will help them alongside the dad from Blackish and the guy who once ran for governor of California but lost to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Cradle to the Grave.
That's hot, bro. That's hot, bro.
I looked down to read it, and I immediately just looked at the Arnold Schwarzenegger in my notes, and
that's hot, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. You want me to do mine?
Of course.
All right. When I first started back in 2003, I wasn't moving keys. I was barely moving dimes. Started coming up. Fiends recognized my face. Started paying off the lows so I wouldn't catch a case. You want a free base? I got them. Them hovers for your ass. You get high as a kite and you feel a mega blast. Cash moving stacks. Then they came to piles. Then them fiends started hitting crack vials. Back in the days, they used to run up saying, Jet Li, what you know? I told them, get this crack and get the fuck away from me, ho. Cause everywhere I went became an instant cut. Cause they knew I cut them 20s and the big fat monkey nuts. A fiend gonna be a fiend, but you can't change their ass, I guess. Take a Brillo pad to the chest. Now they wanna leave me alone, cause they know I got a whole pocket full of stones. I got a pocket full of stones. I got a pocket full of stones. I got a pocket full of stones, and they won't leave my ass alone. Bark, bark, X don't give it to you. Bow.
I love that you was just waiting to press that. So yeah, people out there, you vote on who won that one. I would give my vote to Irving. but
oh my God.
If you vote differently, that's cool with me too.
Bro, they mentioned stones in this movie, so it's like the fucking Bible, bro.
Bro, they mentioned stones in this movie.
Oh my goodness.
Every like 5 minutes. Like, it's
100%.
ridiculous.
That's my drinking game.
Yeah.
We didn't do a drinking game for the last episode. Wow. Missed opportunities.
Oh, we didn't. You're right.
That's
okay.
Well. That's okay.
Yeah. We'll just fix that when we... Oh. Sorry.
He got inspired by that soundtrack. Yeah.
It's crazy. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, but she's obviously like one of my favorite contacts. So, sorry, people. Charisse called in the middle of recording.
Keep that in, JG. That's love, my brother.
Oh man! So let's talk about
please.
let's talk a little bit about this movie.
It made a lot of money.
It did,
but it had. I mean, it's Jet Li, bro. Come
right?
on,
and I think for people who are younger than us, they might not know the hype that came along with Jet Li being in action movies.
It was Jet Li, and there's Jackie Chan. Are you Crips? Are you Bloods? Are you United?
And Jackie Chan was kind of the more comedic, lighthearted one. Particularly when he came to the States, he was in much, maybe not family friendly movies, but like
he got to that point.
He got to that point far before Jet Li ever did anything remotely close to family friendly. But he was known for kind of this. I
feel like Jet Li doesn't get his just due because I was thinking about, and this is a tangent. Do you remember his video game?
Yeah. What was it called?
Blanking on
it was
the
on
name.
PlayStation 2, and you used like the analog
slow-mo,
sticks.
The slow-mo.
Oh yeah, that game was fire.
Jet Li is the GOAT.
Yeah, man. Jet Li. I feel like this was one of those movies that like tried really hard to make Jet Li seem cool, but they didn't have to try. Like he was just like cool. Very laid back. Like he did not panic at any point in this movie, even when he was in a cage fight. It was just like, I'm Jet Li. This is what I do. I fight people and I win a lot.
I beat the shit out of a lot of people in this film.
Yeah. So before we get into the full cast list, it has a lot of people in it. This movie was directed by Andrei Bartkowiak, I think is how it's pronounced.
I respect the effort because I wasn't.
Andrei Bartkowiak probably is how it's pronounced now that I think of it. He was most known as a cinematographer on the movie Speed, which if you haven't seen Speed, you're doing it wrong. But he also directed Romeo Must Die and Exit Wounds.
Don't forget about The Devil's Advocate.
Right. Oh my God. I did forget about that one.
The Devil's Advocate.
Yeah. So he was mostly a cinematographer for action movies and then directed action movies that, you know, if you look at him, it kind of makes sense. Like, oh, a cinematographer, of course, they thought up this set piece and directed it this way. But starring in this movie.
What do you think they were thinking when they greenlit this film? Before you get to who's
they were thinking we've got a hit. Like,
I love this movie.
Yo, like they were thinking we've got a very balanced cast of people who are way too serious, but then they're just straight comic relief people. You know, this movie has DMX, Jet Li, Gabrielle Union, Anthony Anderson, Mark Dacascos, I think is how his name is pronounced, Chi McBride, Tom Arnold, and Kelly Hu. And a young Paige Hurd is in this movie. So, like, a cast that knows how to be funny, but also they're really good at like playing serious action-y roles. So yeah, like this.
I'm sorry, I'm dying on the inside because I'm just thinking about how racist this movie is. I can't believe it made this much money.
Yo, like this, this movie is so racist that everything we said
about... This is one of the most racist films I've ever seen.
Everything that we said about Vampire in Brooklyn in the last episode, yo, like this movie doubles down on racism in a really wild way.
I would say it's up there with The Last Dragon.
As far as racism goes,
Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Yeah, yo, like this movie is racist, dog.
Tom Arnold was in his bag.
Yo, Tom Arnold is known kind of as playing like the geeky dad characters a little bit, but yo, like that man was saying some wild stuff. I'm like, my goodness. He was like, I don't know who robbed me. They were tall black guys. They all kind of look the same. And then he was talking to Jet Li, and he was like, kind of like you. Yeah, he's like, kind of like your people. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, bro, this movie, this movie was racist as hell. But it also fits with the early 2000s because the early 2000s was racist as hell.
I mean, this is. I just feel like, and I don't know. Most of our audience, from to my knowledge, is around our age range. I'm curious to how kids now, like Gen Z, would react to seeing a film like this.
Oh, they would cut this shit off in the first like, 5 minutes.
how did it come out? Just like, man, that was the time.
They would get on Twitter and start dragging people. They were like, I don't care if DMX was a rap legend. He was associated with this racist propagandistic film. And they wouldn't be wrong, because, I was looking at this like, how did Jet Li read this script and just think to himself, yeah, I'll do this movie?
He saw Rush Hour. He said, "There's an opportunity to make some." He said, "There's an opportunity to make some money, bro."
Yeah, because Romeo Must Die was also a hit.
The budget of this movie was $25 million, and it made $56 million. So they doubled their profit. I mean, they more than doubled their profits. He saw the opportunity here, and it is a very entertaining film. I would say that
it is.
This movie
aside,
is wildly
fun
because the DNA of this film is racism. I will admit to that.
It is.
But as a black person, I feel comfortable saying this was a funny racist movie.
It was. It was a movie that you probably couldn't get greenlit today without some significant changes to the script. But I feel like the people who enjoyed this movie in 2003 would still go to see a movie like this today.
I would.
Yeah, like this movie is like, it's made to be a dumb, fun action movie with, not redeemable villains. And
DMX has superpowers.
Yeah, and just like cool fight scenes and chase scenes. Like that's what this movie is.
So can you kind of give us? You gave the synopsis. You gave your synopsis.
Oh, you want me to just like break down the plot a little bit?
You heard my freestyle, but yes, please like guide us through.
Yeah, so the movie starts with a diamond heist where DMX and his crew, who love to say faith before they do things, I
want to stop you really quickly. Okay, throughout this film, DMX prays. Do you think he improvised those prayers? I said yes.
No,
I said yes.
I think. So whether or not those prayers were in the script, I don't know. But I don't think he improvised them. I think he just took, like, he probably wrote some prayers. Because on all of his albums, he has like prayers.
He be praying.
Yeah, like that man is that man has a song. That man has a song called "Lord, Give Me a Sign."
I love that. I love that song.
I do too, bro. Like that shit was a classic.
This movie also starts with a DMX Eminem song. I just want to throw that out there.
No. A DMX, Eminem, and Obi Trice song, because it was 2003.
D12 gets a shout out in that Eminem verse, and I found that to be. I wrote in my notes that is a bold move.
Yeah. This movie came out like right around when Eminem was like at his peak in popularity and peak in career success, so it made sense. All. Yeah, white.
Will we ever
dude wearing the
Will
do-rag.
we ever cover 8 Mile? Probably not.
No, I feel like 8 Mile is. I don't know what criteria it would fit under.
Bad.
I don't think 8 Mile is bad. I just think
I'm gonna hate on it though, but
I don't think 8 Mile is bad.
I enjoy it, but I would hate on it.
But you know what? The thing, side tangent. The thing about 8 Mile that
I'm sorry,
sucks
I have us going all over the place.
Oh no, this movie goes all over the place, so it's fine. The thing about 8 Mile for me is like, as a black guy from Detroit, I had to deal with white kids loving 8 Mile so much.
Just imagine when I worked on 8 Mile at the dispensary, which did happen to be right down the street from where Eminem grew up.
Right.
Oh my God, drooling at the mouth. Mom spaghetti? The goat? Rap God?
Oh man. Yeah. But so it starts off with them stealing some diamonds, and they realize
some QVC diamonds, which I'd like to. I want to throw that. I put that in my notes, bro. I was like, this jewelry looks cheap.
yo, they stole some very fake looking black diamonds that,
and they said they have never seen black diamonds.
Yeah,
which I was confused. Have you never seen the NFL or the NBA?
This was 2003, so admittedly,
a lot of people did not have black diamonds. I will give you that, but I'm just like,
they're diamond thieves. Like, come on, son. Like, you've seen diamonds that look like this before. But they steal the diamonds. Jet Li makes his presence known and is like, you all are stealing from the wrong person. Like, give me the diamonds. They butt heads. He kicks what's the character's name?
Who?
The knockoff Mekhi Phifer. Dragon's character.
I actually do not remember his name.
His character, I'm gonna look it up real quick. His character's name is
I can tell you right now. No, I can't. Is it Miles?
Yes, Miles.
He didn't
whoops
even get
Miles.
a picture. That's so disrespectful.
Oh, he's got a picture out here, but yeah. So he gets his ass kicked by Jet Li, who takes diamonds from him, but not the black diamond that he's looking for. The villain,
Pocket full of stones.
The villain, whose name is just Ling, realizes that
That's
they
so
have
lazy.
it is. Like
That's so
the
lazy.
Asian
It's
characters'
so
names are
racist.
so
It's so
lazy in this movie.
Racist.
So there's Jet Li's character is Sue.
I'm Sue.
Then there's Ling. Then there's
Who are you?
Sona.
Well, I'm Sally. That's my favorite line. I'm sorry.
And then
I'm alluding to.
and then the other Asian characters in Ling's crew don't have their own names. They're Ling's hitman, Bald Enforcer,
Bald Enforcer is a good name though.
and Laser Tech. So then they don't get names.
They're Sona.
I mean, yeah, but like, oh, that's another thing I wrote down. Kelly, who she has died in some very interesting ways in films. She is in I don't know if you've seen this one. She's in Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan.
Unfortunately, I have not seen that.
Yeah, and she dies.
I hear it's entertaining.
In a weird scene where it's like she's supposed to be drunk, but she also looks like she's on acid. Like, it's wild. And then she dies in X-Men 2 from a lethal overdose of adamantium. I don't remember if she died or lived in The Scorpion King, but she's in that movie as well.
She's on a little roll.
Bro, she really was. Like, she's been in some stuff, you know? She's been around the block. Now she does a lot of voice acting, I'm pretty sure.
So they do the diamond heist. Then Jet Li calls DMX and is like, yo, all right, give the stones back. They're not what you think, right? But keep going. Let's guide us, yo.
Yeah,
guide the listeners.
So when the villain Ling discovers that Tony Fate, DMX's character, has these diamonds, he's like, yo, give me these diamonds. DMX is like, make me an offer. And then the guy's like, oh, I'm gonna make you an offer.
It's basically like Shark Tank.
Yeah, and then he, instead of making the offer that DMX wants, he kidnaps his daughter. But luckily for the daughter, before she's kidnapped, DMX gives her a really rare diamond necklace that she later uses to escape, but we'll get to that later.
By rare, what do you mean by that?
Rare for a kid.
What do you mean by that?
It's a diamond necklace.
It's like giving me a ring pop. I'm just saying, hey, just an observation. I'm sorry.
I mean, yes, it looked very fake because it's a movie, but in the universe of the movie, she gets a rare.
Thank
necklace.
you for putting it in the movie's context.
Yeah, because looking at it now, I'm like, oh, that looks fake as hell. And them shining a light on it didn't make it look any realer.
I was watching this film, like, I'm surprised that all of their necks and wrists aren't green because all of this looks very cheap.
I mean, they probably just use regular Hollywood prop jewelry.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did.
Yeah.
I'm just hating.
But
I'm just
no,
hating.
it looked very fake. So she's kidnapped. DMX is like, all right, well, we gotta figure out where they took her. We gotta get some leads. So he goes to the prison to meet with She McBride's character, who basically doesn't help at all. And Jet Li kicks his bodyguard's ass real quick.
Of course.
Because he's got to just flex on us every few scenes to show us that Jet Li is indeed
Jet
Jet Li.
The worst scene with Jet Li in this film, and I'm sorry to skip to this, is when he has to sneak into the sky rise and he's jumping like Tom Cruise.
Oh my goodness!
From the window ledge, like down. I think it's like 6 stories.
Yeah, that's.
It looked like a flying
at the beginning.
squirrel.
Yeah,
it
he's
looked
like dropping down.
It looked like a flying squirrel. I was like, this doesn't look cool.
Yeah, it'd look cooler if he was going up the stories instead of down. But you know, the laws of physics would not allow that.
No, unless he could fly like Eddie Murphy and
Vampire. Or fly like Eddie Murphy in The Adventures of Pluto Nash. Well, you didn't think I was going to bring that up, did you?
I'm glad we're not covering that one.
Oh, that one's too far into the filth category for us to cover.
I doubt it. I'll never say never.
So they drum up all these leads to figure out, where the villain is.
They stop in the prison. They go to the
cage fight where Tom Arnold is in peak racism. Also, that
he bets on the white man first.
Yeah, so that scene is fucking hilarious because of how many legendary MMA fighters are in that scene.
Isn't it Anderson Silva's?
No, he's not in the scene.
No, I'm tripping.
Chuck Liddell.
I'm tripping.
Tito Ortiz. Randy Couture.
Yeah, that would be way before Anderson.
Yeah, and this is before the UFC is really popular. So it's like an underground cage match. You got some real MMA fighters doing some not real MMA.
That's probably what inspired Dana White. This is a great idea.
I think Dana White was already involved at that point.
Let me be racist and let me start an underground fighting ring.
Yeah, but like this is back when, like, when I saw this movie, I had never seen a real MMA fight, so like I just assumed that's what it was.
I also assumed that DMX had superpowers, and I think it's true.
Yeah, you got to talk about the chase scene. So because he gets arrested.
No, okay, so no, I have that written down in the ATVs, but really, every scene where DMX and Jet Li meet has some special moment that I found either be hilarious or the action was really good or a mix of both. For most scenes, I would say it's a mix of both. I assume you would agree.
Yes.
When they first meet, Jet Li pulls up on DMX in an apartment and he's trying to get the stones, the plutonium stones.
Right.
From DMX, and DMX is like he was cursing up a storm in this movie. I'm just gonna skip to my favorite quote because I wrote it down and it's great. So in the film, Tony, or T, played by DMX, meets Sue, played by Jet Li, and DMX in rare DMX form says, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
"My name is Sue." "All right, Sue, I'm Sally."
yo, like the amount of DMX yelling in this movie is hilarious. Like he yells so many of his lines.
He said, Jet Li said, "I want the black stones." And DMX said this could be a drinking game as well. He said, "Make me an offer."
I wrote that down. I literally have it.
And Jet Li says, "You can walk out of here alive. No deal." And then they start fighting again like Tom and Jerry. It's really funny. It's really funny. But DMX, alluding to what Bryce was talking about, gets arrested after
he tries to. So they go to the club that the guy they see in prison like owned at one point.
Yep.
Trying to get leads and figure out where stuff is at. Because he has an intuition, he has an inkling that that's where the diamonds are stashed, and he turns out to be right, actually. But he goes in there. He has Gabrielle Union try to seduce this guy long enough so they can break in. Beat. Yeah, to the song "Nigga Please" by Jay-Z. Like, yeah,
goated.
They get found out. DMX gets arrested. And then he breaks out of his...
He picks the locks.
He picks the lock on his handcuff.
On the handcuffs.
Steals an ATV and leads the police, LAPD, through a chase that they say is the wildest they've dealt with, knowing full and goddamn well that the Bronco chase also happened.
Shout out to OJ Simpson.
That's 2 episodes in a row where we mentioned OJ.
Hey, don't say it another time. He'll appear. We're going to have some problems.
So he leads them on a chase. He jumps out of a window across like rooftops.
The rooftop jumps were impressive. He's doing this in Tim's, bro.
Yo.
And watching this movie made me want a leather coat Cause he like I don't know if it was hot or like the dude is just like a fucking stone, bro. Pocket full of stones. He wasn't sweating at all. I'm like, he got this leather coat. He does a backflip in the alley. Like,
you know, it's crazy because there are scenes where I'm like, it would legitimately be too cold for him to not have the jacket, and then there's other scenes where I'm like, it would be way too hot for you to be doing this with the
running
jacket.
from dogs in this leather coat, fighting with Jet Li in this leather coat.
Yeah, bro, like that man put on that leather coat and thought he was Neo from the Matrix.
Bro, he was Neo from the Matrix. In Brooklyn. I said, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I mean, then they go and after he gets out, they kind of formulate a plan of how to get his daughter back. Eventually, they realize they just got to go to this warehouse where his daughter's being held. And
it was also lazy. It was a lazy plot.
It was a very lazy plot, but I feel like they put all the effort into two things: making Jet Li as badass as possible.
They did a good job of that, and racism.
Yes, and being fucking racist. Like, there's literally a line where Tom Arnold says, "Well, you said cracker, and cracker is kind of racist."
I wrote that down.
Yeah, bro, this movie is racist as hell.
I guess, so let's have an honest conversation really quickly.
Yeah.
Do you think we're actually convincing people to watch this film?
Yes. Okay. Because, and here's the thing, as 2003 as this movie is, you're not ever going to see movies made this way again. So it's like, you should appreciate what you can from them. For me, the action and the comedy are on point in this movie.
Are we going to talk about the helicopter at the end and the fire? The ring of fire?
Yo, that's one of the scenes where I'm like, you can tell the guy who directed this was a cinematographer.
And I'm going to be honest with all of you guys. I've had a really busy couple of weeks, so I didn't even get to I finished 75% of this film, but I've seen this movie so many times that it's like the back of my hand. Like, I'll never forget it. When they stuffed the pocket full of stones
in my man's throat,
in Ling's throat, and
then he broke it. Like, it was like he stepped on a heroin valve in the wire.
It's like, yo, who's coming up with this, bro? What is this? So where can people find this film? That's also
this was a harder movie to find than I had thought. You can rent it.
I rented it for $3.
I did not.
Where'd you find it?
I just Googled Cradle to the Grave online free. And
you did it online free?
Yeah.
This is a Meteor Man situation for you?
It was.
Wow.
I knew I could rent it, and I was like,
X could have gave it to you. They
10.
play that.
That's a 10. That's an X. Yo, they play that song at the perfect moment of the film, too.
Isn't that the ATV scene?
Yeah, they play it. So the scene is,
Amazing.
the ATV scene is intercut with the cage fighting scene. And the song X Gon Give It To You playing while Jet Li
is whooping
kicks
ass.
Tito Ortiz in the nuts is legitimately amazing. And see, that's how, of course I'm convincing people to watch this movie. Are you serious? It's so ridiculous, and we're never going to get movies like that again. I mean, I guess we kind of do, but not not to that extent.
We got some movies like that.
Yeah, but not to that extent. That movie is wild. But who did you, or I guess before we move into best performance, what were the negatives aside from the racism for you? Because I wrote it multiple times in my negative section.
I have it multiple times in my negative section as well. What are the negatives from this movie? You could say the plot is a little lazy. All right, that's fair. But the wardrobe is hilarious. So
Gabrielle Union was looking fine as hell in this movie.
Gabrielle Union was looking like Gabrielle Union. So correct.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Gabrielle Union, and D Wade for marrying Gabrielle Union.
She might be a vampire in Brooklyn. She doesn't age. Hey, just saying. I really don't have too many negatives about this. I said Tom Arnold in this film is racist, but he's also like it's kind of like connected in the underground world. I said he was cast as the Merchant of Death. I found that to be pretty interesting.
Which is hilarious.
It's true. I don't really have much to say because this movie is pretty quotable as well. I didn't write all of the quotes down like I wanted. When DMX when they're breaking into the club to try and look for the stones, he has to jump from the roof through the office window of the club boss. And what is his name? We just said it. Miles. Miles?
Oh, no, Miles is the guy helping him.
Yeah, Miles is the guy helping him. He's like, "You're crazy. I'm a father."
Yo, I also wrote down when he beats up the big goon at the end. He's like, "Wrong kid, definitely the wrong father."
That's a really good impression of DMX. Holy shit, y'all.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in the studio. Yo,
Sidebar. That
was crazy.
I know a guy who, if he ever goes bald, will look just like DMX.
But he's not going to sound like how you just sounded.
No, he won't.
And that was impressive, bro. I want to actually ask you a funnier question because this episode is a little bit different from some of the ones we've done in the past. What is your favorite racist line?
Oh, definitely.
I have mine.
What are you, some kind of Kung Fu James Bond?
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, yo, that's so racist.
Oh, Jesus.
He couldn't even say, are you some kind of insert Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, whatever.
No, they already got that joke off.
Well, no, they did that later.
Oh, you're right.
I was like, yo, you just come out the gate saying Kung Fu James Bond? I'm like, yo, that's a crazy racist bar.
Yo, that's what we're gonna get to watch this episode. We're gonna find some racist people, some racist listeners.
We're gonna start getting people retweeting us from the conservative party. The Michigan GOP is gonna be like, man, I love Cradle to the Grave. I wish we could go back to that America. Make American movies great again.
He said, fan mail. I really like that episode y'all did about Cradle to the Grave. Y'all should do more like that.
Just picking racist ass movies.
Oh, Jesus.
And then there was also
you have another. Okay.
I didn't write this one down. Now I can't remember what it was. There was a line. Oh, when Tom Arnold bets. So at first, when he does the underground fight scene, he bets on the white guy, and then he sees Jet Li's kicking their ass. So he goes, $5,000 on the Chinaman. He's my friend. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this movie is so racist.
Well, when they had the underground fight, it got really dicey in the lines because that's my scene. There's a midget who's like the host of the fight.
That guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. There is a
little person.
I do
that
apologize.
actor.
I do apologize.
Let me look up.
The theme of this movie is seeping through my pores. Oh my God, I am so sorry.
That actor's name is Martin Kleba.
Okay.
And he also was in Pirates of the Caribbean. I think the 2 sequels. He is also the little person who is in the oven in Project X.
Say, swear to God.
Swear to God.
That's crazy. So he sees Bruce Lee, who Tom Arnold has actually secretly signed him up to fight. When they get to the club, he signs him up to fight so that, well, actually, he's not even doing like any what is the word, recon.
Not at all.
He's just kind of chilling. But the little person is the referee or promoter of the fight.
Yeah, he's like the Bruce Buffer. He's the one announcing. There's no real ref, I don't think.
But he tells Bruce Lee has to step in the ring, and he's like, once they start to fight, Bruce Lee picks him up. And he says, "Put me down or I'll kick your ass, Bruce." And Jet Li is like, "I'm not Bruce."
Oh, also, real interesting before I forget, Martin Kleba, born in Troy, Michigan.
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you. Troy is also a little racist. But hey, theme of the film.
It fits.
Theme of the film. This movie was great because it was kind of like a live action Def Jam Vendetta. I don't know if you felt that way.
Yeah, no, that fits.
I think that's you know, the perfect way to describe. I should have put that into my synopsis instead of freestyling or reciting "Pocket Full of Stones." But they just say "stone" so many times in this film. I mean, this movie is about cheap jewelry, kung fu, racism, a really good soundtrack. And I mean, that's kind of the theme of the film, right? Like, it doesn't go much beyond that.
Right. It was like what worked in Romeo Must Die. We had a hot black chick, DMX being DMX, Jet Li kicking ass, a lot of racist jokes, and then a fuck ton of action. Like, they didn't overthink it, essentially.
Okay. So I know we're wrapping soon, but I want to ask you, what do you think this movie is in 2023? If you got to make... Same premise, you were tasked, because I would like all the listeners and viewers to know, and Bryce has expressed this, he has been screenwriting. I'm very proud of you, my brother.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for all the work that you're doing. So if you were tasked with writing Cradle 3 Grave,
I think there is a sequel to Cradle to the Grave, by the way.
I think there is, actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
it was
sure
like it was like a straight to video one.
It's not good. But what would you do with Cradle for the Grave?
There we go.
All right, there we go.
Cradle for the Grave. I would. DMX.
And who
passed,
are you casting?
Unfortunately,
are you doing the hologram? Like, the possibilities are endless. What are we doing?
So, I would probably.
Are you casting Anthony Anderson?
No.
Okay.
No. Sorry, I can't now. If I was to make this movie, I would cast Paige Hurd as a diamond thief who, grew up, her dad raised her to be a good thief.
Okay.
And she's running her own crew.
I'm about to start making this the new segment.
How would I pitch this?
No, I think honestly, like, I love the drinking game, but I think a fun segment would be, what is the sequel to these movies?
Yeah.
And we've tested it around in early episodes.
So Cradle for the Grave.
Cradle for the Grave.
Paige Hurd would be a diamond thief who has to steal diamonds away from the GOP who want to use the diamonds to build a mind control device to keep black and brown people fighting against each other instead of fighting against the man.
Is Tyler James Williams in this?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, nice.
He's going to be the Miles in this movie.
Damn. He's doing so well on Abbott Elementary.
Shout out to you, Tyler James, and Paige Hurd. I mean, she's still
legendary.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yeah.
That's a great premise, yeah.
See, like and then instead of Jet Li, I would probably get. Who would I get? You know what I would do?
The man is old, so I don't know.
Yeah, Donnie Yen is probably too old.
I don't
to
know
want
who
to be
the
in that
next
kind of movie.
great Chinese action movie star is.
I'd probably. Well, that's the thing. I probably would make the movie a little less racist and not divert to like a Chinese action star. I'd probably get.
Oh, you're diluting the racism.
I'd have to.
Is it really Cradle for the Grave?
If it's not racist.
If it's not racist.
So here's how I get around that. I keep Tom Arnold's character in it as the old
white.
Yeah, he's like,
Jesus.
I'm out the game, but I still know some things. Wait a minute, you have a crew of diverse looking people. This frightens me.
So are you inviting George Santos? Are you casting George Santos and he can be your Asian action star?
Oh my goodness. I was actually going to say
oh my god.
I was going to say the girl from Terrifier 2 cuz she does like stunt and martial arts and stuff.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. You got to switch it up for these long overdue sequels. But yeah, who was your best performance in this?
DMX.
Same. I had DMX and then I had Tom Arnold right after.
Because it's just DMX playing himself, but he does it so well.
Bro, he just yells a lot. Like, how many times I gotta tell you people? I'm a businessman. Make me a fucking offer.
Like, I would pay any amount of money to see this man on Shark Tank.
Yo.
Mr. Wonderful going back and forth with DMX. 50%.
So DMX has been was unfortunately he's no longer with us.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. DMX was in quite a few movies.
Earl gonna give it to you.
Yes. And this one is the one where I think it's like, yo, like they literally just had him like do himself. Like
They literally
more than in top 5, where he literally plays himself.
they hit him up and said, "Hey, bro, do you?"
They're like, we saw Belly. We know what you're capable of.
Okay.
We saw Romeo Must Die.
This might be a hot take, and I've told you this in the past. I don't like Belly.
You've told me.
I don't like Belly.
It's okay. Everyone's got a flaw.
It's mid. And Belly 2 is really bad.
I've never seen Belly 2.
Belly 2 is really bad.
I mean, it's a sequel to Belly, you know?
Don't worry. I'm going to convince everyone. I'm going to convince Bryce to do Belly 3.
There's a third Belly film? Jesus Christ.
And on the poster, we're going to put Belly Flop because I'm going to expect it to go straight to DVD. It's going to be great.
Straight to DVD doesn't exist anymore. Straight to Tubi.
We're going to bring it back.
We're gonna revive DVDs as a viable medium just to put straight to DVD films out again.
Man, there's a market for everything. So yeah, let's get into it. Who are you giving your flowers to?
I'm giving mine to Damon Grease Blackman. Yes, the one who produced for the Rough Riders and the Locks, because he did the music for this film.
Fire.
Yeah. When I found out Grease did the music, I was like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense.
The music, honestly, is the best part of the film.
It's underratedly the best part of this film, bro. Like, because the action is fun. It ain't probably the most unique action set pieces that we've seen in a Jet Li movie.
But
the music, though.
I've never seen a backflip like DMX. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Bro, they had DMX. They had him go Super Saiyan X in this movie, bro.
X gonna give it to you, bro. So it's just the music for you and DMX, or is anyone, anyone else getting a flower? Is anyone else getting a flower?
I also gave flowers to Jet Li for having, and I was keeping in theme with the racism of this movie.
Tom Arnold.
I was saying I give flowers to, and I wrote it. I was like, I give flowers to Jet Li for having Zen-like patience with this racist ass script.
Oof, JG, I think we might be done.
Yo, because like there are scenes where I'm like, there are scenes in this movie where I'm like, there ain't no way Jet Li was cool with them saying this shit, bro.
He's probably like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, he was like, show me the screenwriters. I will find them. Do you see the scene where I just did that head kick to that guy and he flew across? I can do that for real.
I'll say this. You should definitely start working on Cradle for the Grave, because you could cast Jet Li if you really wanted to. I'm sure he's probably chilling, sitting on boatloads of cash. Yeah.
Probably. He's probably just thinking back to all those days where like a lot of his movies where I'm the Asian guy to a bald guy, whether it be DMX or Jason Statham.
I will say this, and this is one of my closing statements. At one point, of course, this season is all black films.
Blackly black, y'all.
And I don't know how many. We actually didn't establish how many more episodes of this season we're gonna do, but
we didn't. Yeah, you're right.
When we're done on black films, we have to do, and this is up there with Jupiter Ascending, the movie, and I don't know if it's the Monkey King.
The Forbidden Kingdom.
The Forbidden Kingdom.
Jet Li and Jackie Chan.
You mentioned it while I was gone, and I said, oh my God.
It has the kid from Sky High.
I didn't know.
Michael,
he's a legend.
I'm
too.
blanking on his name.
He's a legend too, because I love Lords of Dogtown. But
wow.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really?
Swear to God. Swear to God.
I never knew that.
Swear to God. I've told you that, but it's fine. It's
fine. Shout out to Emil Hirsch.
The racism is clouding your mind. It's fine. There's a force field. We have to do the Forbidden Kingdom, because that is, in fact, one of the worst movies I have ever seen.
Yeah, that movie makes Exit Wounds look good.
Oh God.
That movie, hold up, I got one that you're gonna appreciate even more than that.
Oh my God.
That movie is so bad that it makes every Fast and the Furious movie look like The Godfather Part 2. And don't get me wrong, I love the Fast and the Furious franchise. But ain't none of those movies goddamn The Godfather Part 2.
Not even close. I ain't no fucking Morris Chestnut.
Sidebar, did I ever tell you about the time one of my friends from college's mom told me I look like Morris Chestnut? And I didn't know what to make of it until Angel was just like, oh, that just means she thinks you look like sex.
Oh, okay.
And then I became instantly uncomfortable.
I was going to say, depending on the ethnicity of this mom, she might have been trying to get cast in Cradle for the Grave. But that's my closing statement. Let's wrap it, my brother.
Yeah, man. That's all for Cradle to the Grave. Maybe one day I'll write Cradle for the Grave. Page Heard. Hopefully,
Let's make it happen.
Hopefully you're less selective with your movie roles than DMX was, because we need people to be in movies like this.
Let's make it happen. Can we get some peer pressure? Bullying works. Bullying works, y'all.
Yeah, so that's Movies at 2 a.m. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.